Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm your usual host, Joe Scone. I'm joined here by Tony Tones at RT, and we are here to talk
Hello.
about video game
I
news
know.
and everything in between. Shout out to all the other everything in between podcasts, as we've been.
Yeah.
Apparently it's super hard to find us because there's like 50 different podcasts with the name In Between Podcasts. I guess it's a popular name.
Yeah. I'm still. I feel like we should maybe at least consider renaming or rebranding, pivoting our brand, as they would
I
say.
don't know.
You don't know?
Like a third party thing, and nobody knows where Doc
True.
is, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Before we get started, let's talk about one big news. We actually lost Reckful a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He committed suicide a couple of days ago, and I know I showed some of his videos to you, stuff like that. You knew his content. I was a huge fan of
Yeah.
Reckful. I've been watching his
Well, he's like
for about.
that's the famous clip of his. You point out like Toe Biscuit and Wreckful were in it.
Yeah,
Technically.
Reckful missing lethal at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Seems like such a long time ago now. But
Yeah.
I've been watching Reckful for about 6 years. I typed in his chat very often. I was always watching his stream. So yeah, I was pretty upset by this news, and shout out to Reckful, his community, and also his message of trying to spread a positive message about mental health issues. So even though he lost his battle, hopefully his message can help others not lose theirs.
Yeah, I didn't realize like he put like so much effort into like helping other people that were going through
especially
similar things that he was.
his streams with Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG. If you don't know, his stream is he's a Harvard psychologist who specializes in stuff like to do with streaming video games, because basically it doesn't exist. I mean, all of the people who work in psychiatry have no idea what video games or streaming or anything like this is, but it's a huge problem with depression, mental illness, stuff like that.
Yes.
So
That's the tricky thing about new mediums, I guess, is like it takes time to get the actual information, be able to like sort it out, and then I guess then figure out best ways to deal with it.
But it's like crazy how much of an impact Reckful had on live streaming. Like, he started he even streamed before Twitch. He streamed on his brother made him a website called Reckful.tv, and
Oh really?
he streamed.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the most notorious World of Warcraft players, one of the best rogues, the first person to hit 3K rating on PvP, which was insane at the time. Nobody thought it was possible. He actually invented the idea of getting donation messages and really helped pioneer that for live streaming. He pushed forward IRL streaming through his Pokemon Go streams and IRL streams in Spain with Forsen and Japan and all that stuff. Like a huge. He was even going to. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the development of his game, but hopefully we can play Everland. I hope one day to be able to play that and remember him. He always loved Club Penguin. I remember he loved going.
Club Penguin.
And he always said to people in his chat, people that were feeling sad and depressed, if you guys just message each other, you can play games with each other and make friends there. That was his message. Was he wanted to create a game where he and others could just hang out and be friends and try and get away from everything. So
it's a really cool idea. And
yeah, shout out to one of my favorite streamers, one of the first people I followed on Twitch back in 2014, Hearthstone. Crazy to think, he'll no longer be with us, but yeah, shout out to Reckful. So let's talk about some video game news. I don't think there's not like that much big news this week. It's mostly just a lot of little stuff, but there is some interesting stuff to talk about. So I thought I'd piece together all the little tidbits. First one, Path of Exile, is a new season, Harvest. As someone who opened the tech tree of Path of Exile, I went, nope, I have no idea. I have no idea what any of this is about. But yeah, PoE is always a game I've really wanted to get into, but I've found it hard because of the steep learning curve. Yeah, it's definitely a good game, especially if you're into like serious min-max ARPGs.
I was gonna say, like, recently, I can't remember what I was watching, but I was like, someone was reviewing another ARPG, and I was like,
Minecraft.
They weren't like really into it.
Probably.
Might have been Minecraft Dungeons, but like they like showing clips of Path of X, and I was like, this actually looks really, like, the animation is really quite good. Actually, it looks quite satisfying.
Well,
to play.
they just released the jungle DLC for Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh yes.
Because I saw Captain Sparkles was streaming it yesterday. It looks like kind of more of the same. So I guess if you like Minecraft Dungeons, you might like the Minecraft Dungeons DLC. Hot take.
Is that your objective reviewer for Minecraft Dungeons? If you like Minecraft
also,
Dungeons,
Path of Exile also added Vulkan support. That was another thing. We got a new Gwent expansion. Someone who likes Gwent. We've now got Master Mirror trailer. It looks pretty cool. Another big thing, if you don't remember recently, was that Gwent came to Steam. So if you didn't want to download Gwent off GOG, you can now just play it through Steam. So that's cool. I think another interesting thing that I found out about is for the Magic the Gathering Arena, you would have to download it through their website. But you can now get Magic the Gathering Arena on Epic Launcher. That's a way I've found of like keeping the game updated and remembering it exists, is by having it on Epic. Like I like having my games kind of tied together in a place. Like I know some people really hate DRM, like they much prefer like GOG style, but I like having my games put into one place where I can update them and see them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one or the other though. Like Kerbal Space Program, like, is like a master of like the game. Like even the one you install on Steam is technically DRM free and be just launched anywhere, which is really cool.
I thought the art looked really cool for this expansion.
Yeah.
Oh, this image here reminds me a lot of the Witcher Netflix series. Don't want to get into it too much in case you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it yet. I was meant to, but I don't know. I did try actually. I don't know, Tangerining again, but
Tangerining again.
I didn't. Which is, I think we should rename it to Tangerine Podcast. We're always just Tangerining, but no, I actually tried to watch the Witcher Netflix series. I don't know. I didn't get very far into it, but I feel like I have like an uncanny valley sort of like effect because like I've played the games and like I really like Geralt in the games. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to get past that
and then cool, though, deal with it. Like the TV series.
Okay. Yeah, I think I just need to give it a try. To be honest, just grin and bear it for like the uncanny valley bit at the start.
Yeah, it's pretty good once you get into it. Like, there's lots of people complaining like they had different actors that didn't look like the video game characters or the book description of the characters, but honestly,
it's always going to be a problem.
Honestly, it didn't bother me at all, sort of thing. So
yeah. I think it's just whatever like media you're used to is like what you get like stuck in your head. So, but I'm definitely like super game oriented because I played all three of them, not to completion, admittedly, but I have played all three games. Not Gwent though.
Okay.
back to Gwent.
I've played Gwent inside The Witcher 3, and I've played Gwent the actual card game itself.
Okay.
That's pretty much the only thing I did in The Witcher 3 was play Gwent.
Really?
So yeah, I haven't actually played the full game. I just played Gwent. So. Because I think you can do like missions to get like rare Gwent cards, like that's a thing.
Yeah,
in Witcher 3.
They had a proper arena system in a way. Not like super in depth, but like it was kind of cool. Like there's characters.
The Witcher 3 world is a shell for my trading card game, the Gwent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Hades: The Bloodprints update. This just came out in June, I believe. And
yeah,
let's deal some damage.
quite recent.
So this is quite a big update, adding a lot of new items to the game. The next update though will be the 1.0 update.
As well, by the way.
Sorry?
Oh, really? Okay.
So the next
I'll say that it was quite. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying after this, the game will be in 1.0 and it'll be out of early access, sort of thing.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay, sorry.
This game does look pretty cool though. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I had it installed so I had to like patch it. It's quite a big update.
Oh, you have this game, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you owned this.
I think I got it when it finally went on Steam.
Oh, right.
Remember, it wasn't always on Steam?
It used to be on Epic. But the thing is, Epic funded part of this game, which is the reason it was on Epic.
Yeah, it was fair enough.
Exclusivity for a little bit. But recently, games like Satisfactory came out and said the game sold like really well on Epic. I know it's only, I think it's only been out on Steam for a month, but I think they said they got like 700,000 sales on Epic in a year, and then been on Steam like a month, and they have like 300, 400k sales, sort of thing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's pretty interesting.
It's cool that they're getting yeah, it's good that their games are getting selling well. Yeah, it's good to see.
Oh, we got a new Cyberpunk 2077 trailer. One of the big news for Cyberpunk 2077 though was originally it was announced to have wall running in it, and apparently they've scrapped the wall running completely because of design reasons. It seems like it was too hard to make the game around wall running. I don't know your opinion.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I imagine like creating the assets because, or like creating like the mechanics to interact with the assets is really difficult.
But you kind of have to design the entire world to be wall runnable, sort of thing. It was probably a lot harder than it sounded. I'm just gonna have to play my other Cyberpunk wall running game, Ghost Runner, I think it's called. We haven't done a video on it yet, but I have footage of it and I want to talk about it. It's called Ghost Runner.
I am a massive fan of wall running and like parkour sort of systems, so like it's kind of a shame, but like I think at the same time understandable.
I think the thing I think for me is the reason it feels so bad is because they said it was going to be in the game and then they removed it. I think if the game came out without it in, nobody would have cared. But it's like
I feel like
go on.
Like I said, I felt like the Peter Molyneux did this a little bit and like promised something that won't be in the game.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is like I remember when I was playing Fortnite, one of the early updates, they said jetpacks were going to be in the game, and then they pulled them and said, oh, there was a problem with jetpacks. So then they just put in, I think it was the hunting rifle instead, and people every single update was just, where's the jetpacks? Where's the jetpacks? Where's the jetpacks? They did eventually put the jetpacks in, but because they had shown the jetpacks from that point on, their fate was sealed that everybody wanted jetpacks. It was kind of similar to how everyone's going to be like, this game could have been great if it had wall running, but they had to remove it, and now it's going to suck. Like, if they didn't know about it, then they probably wouldn't care. So
yeah, it's a weird psychological effect, isn't it?
So let me ask you a question.
Hello,
Do you like the game Worms?
Yeah, Worms are good.
Have you ever thought to yourself, man, I love this game Worms, but I wish it was in real time?
No.
Then have I got the game for you? Worms Rumble, 32-player online matches, Battle Royale and Deathmatch modes, crossplay, coming to PS4, PS5 and PC late 2020. Real-time combat Worms, Tony. What can I say except you're welcome.
I don't understand. What am I looking at here? So I just went to their website, right? And I don't get it. I mean, okay, I can kind of get like there's quite a few like real-time like platformy things, but why is it like full 3D? I don't understand. Was it like 2.5?
I think it's I think it's like 2.5.
Okay, it just the camera.
I think it's like Crash, where you can kind of go back and forwards on the plane, but I think it's still very 2.5D.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's like the new generation of ones. Maybe it'd actually be really good. I don't know.
Worms Battle Royale.
I'm not sure about the Battle Royale part. Wait, isn't Worms already a Battle Royale? I don't know.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, the only other game I can think of in the space of turn-based Battle Royale games is actually Civ 6. Civ 6 has a Battle Royale mode.
That is pretty fun, though.
Okay, I don't know if I talked about this before on the podcast. I think I may have run out of time. But they did like an update.
To me.
I talked about it to you, but not on the podcast, I don't think. They had to they did a patch for Civ 6 and they had to nerf democracy on Civ Battle Royale because it was way too strong a victory type.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you could do. You could
when they calling for aid, that they're making so you kept calling for aid, and that initiates
something like that.
Something. And block other people. Yeah, it was really weird. It's that's funny that diplomacy update breaks the game. Oh god.
Anyway, should we talk about the Steam? The Steam summer sale started between this podcast and the last podcast. It will be ending in 3 days. So if there's anything you want to get, check out the store and see if there's anything on there that you're interested in. Do you want to talk about some of the games you purchased in this Steam summer sale?
Oh god, I can't even remember. I can
go into your activity.
I can try.
Should I try and find?
No, it's okay. Cause it should be uncategorized. So if I wanted to see if there's anything I want to Oh yeah, I bought. Okay, small game called Interplanetary. It's I don't know why I'd never bought it before. I watched people play it back when it was first released, and Interplanetary 2 came out. It's basically just a game where you're on a planet and there's other planets in the same solar system and you're at war with them. So you can launch nukes or fire large artillery or launch lasers at them. Then you have to it's it's kind of turn-based though. It's kind of cool because it has orbital mechanics as its main system. Yeah, I don't know why it took me so long to actually to buy this, but I finally got it.
I'll tell you a game I've been playing a fuck ton of from the Steam sale. Our good friend Halo Andy decided that he was going to buy Satisfactory for everyone so we could play multiplayer, and it was on
didn't buy it for me though.
You already owned it on Epic.
Right.
Matt already owned it on Epic. I think he got it for. Did he get it for Michael?
Yeah, I think
Scorn Retorts.
Scorn Retorts, yeah. Jeff.
But basically, I've had Satisfactory for a week or so, and I've spent 35 hours in it just building factories. I've spent an ungodly. Once you start playing Satisfactory, it's definitely one of those games where you just lose time. It is really, really fun.
It's a satisfactory game, you could say.
Yep, that's true. What else was I going to say? The multiplayer's a bit buggy. So they say that single player is the more polished experience, and then multiplayer is very broken. When I was playing with friends, we were experiencing massive desync issues where we were invisible to each other. We'd see each other just running into a wall, and then they'd be on the other side of the map and teleporting across. Driving vehicles is kind of impossible if you're not hosting the game. There is some big desync issues. It seems like the priority though is on the factories themselves and making sure they run in sync rather than the players. And I think that is the good idea, rather than focusing on the players.
I've seen that it's an ongoing. It's still in early access, and it is notoriously very difficult for multiplayer and factory-based systems. So,
I also
work on it.
I think I got all the DLC I was missing for Dead by Daylight, another game I love. Got 200 hours in it. but I wanted to get some of the new survivors and killers. I faced against the Demogorgon from Stranger Things the other day, and it was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. I'd never seen a killer
Dave
before.
said that as well.
And all I could hear was just this screaming in the background. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then you just see this Demogorgon come up behind you and open up its fucking Venus flytrap head, and you're like, holy shit, I'm going to die. One thing I feel about most of the killers in Dead by Daylight is a lot of them are very humanoid. They're very like humanistic. And then you get like a raw beast like the Demogorgon, and you're like, holy shit, that's a monster that's going to kill me, sort of thing.
Yeah, I prefer the more monstrous than the more humanoids, so I can't like the look of it. So
I got the.
I'm yet to watch Stranger Things.
I got
Side note.
Oh, Stranger Things is really good. You should watch it.
Yeah, I know. I really should.
I bought a game called the Coin Game. I downloaded the demo and played it. And Coin Game is basically just a big island that's like an arcade sort of thing, but it has like a bit more to it because you're like a kid's birthday party and all the people around you are like robots, and then you can go like babysitting to earn extra money. And there's like a fair you can go to. You can like go to the gas station and buy scratch offs and go gambling and stuff like that. They even just added a survival mode sort of thing, where you have to like keep going babysitting to earn enough money to buy food and energy to stay alive. I thought it looked. I've seen people streaming it. It looked really fun, and then I played it myself for about an hour, and then I decided to refund it because I.
Oh really?
Yeah, I found I wasn't having that much fun on the arcade machines. I was like, this is okay, but it's definitely an early access game that could have a lot of work to it. Although it had some interesting stuff that meant it wasn't just this one, game about playing arcade machines. It had some more depth to it. I would have liked there to be a little bit more. Because speaking of another game, I also got the Hex. If you don't know, have you ever heard of a game called Pony Island? Basically, it's a game about a pony jumping game that's very much not about a pony jumping game. These kind of games are very, very hard to go into without spoiling, but pretty much the idea of those games are, and the Hex as well, the idea is you're playing a game, but you're also, it's very meta, you're trying to break the game in a lot of ways, and it's very interesting in that sort of way.
Very well done.
I think this sale, what big game I got to mention, because you've been saying I should play this game, and I was like, yes, I really want to play this game, but I also know nothing about it because I don't want spoilers. I got the Outer Wilds, not the Outer Worlds. I got the Outer Wilds, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. Because I feel like I have a queue at the moment of games I'm playing. We'll probably do a tangent. I'm playing Dishonored 2 at the moment, and I'm doing a blind playthrough of it. Stealth, never seen, non-lethal. I need to finish that.
Yeah.
I promised Dave I'd play Alien Isolation. He wanted to watch me
play
play
that.
Why
would you do that?
I own the game. I like the game. I want to play the game.
Okay. I wish you luck.
So maybe after Alien Isolation, I will play the Outer Wilds and give you my thoughts on it. I know you know. I think you know a lot more about it than I do, sort of thing.
I don't know that much. I just find it very weird and
I think if you don't, the general idea of the Outer Wilds is you are stuck in a time loop on like a spaceship. But is there some sort of crafting you do in it to try and fix things?
Yeah, you can. You're on like a small planetoid, and there's a spaceship you can like put together and fly. I think, and then
very interested to figure out what the hell's happening in that game.
Yeah,
without spoiling it. Shove the Hex quickly.
I don't even want to spoil the one thing I know about, which I found it very interesting, which is why I thought you might like in the first place. But
yeah, it's literally like when it comes to that kind of game, the less you know about it, the better, sort of thing. Which is really hard to recommend someone buy a game without them knowing anything about it.
I think I will actually spoil the bit I know.
I have the game and I'm going to play it. Do not spoil it.
Okay.
I don't want to.
It's like a tiny thing though. It just puts in the mood of the game. I think.
No,
I don't know.
Don't tell me.
Okay. Close your ears.
I
was gonna say though.
I'll take off my headphones. I'll take off my headphones if you want to tell people.
I bought both This Is the Place and This Is the Place 2 in the summer sale. Like after watching Sips and you talk about it.
Yeah, I fucking. So, This Is the Place is a resource management roguelite. And
yeah,
that's really crazy. Hard to explain to people, but that is exactly what it is. Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah, it's genre bending. There we go.
It's a game that you look at.
It doesn't really have a genre.
It's a game I'd look at and go, I probably wouldn't play that. And then I played it and I was like, actually, this is really fun. And it's hard to explain to people without ruining why it's really fun. Because it's another one of those games where the less you say about it, the better.
Yeah, I watched Sips play. Like originally, I looked at them and I wouldn't buy this. And then I watched Sips play. Like, oh, okay, it's actually really good. Okay.
But then you were like, this Sips guy, what does he know? And then I played it, and then you were like, all right, definitely.
That's when
time to pick it up. Time to pick it up.
Speaking of waiting until you played it, I then also bought the Text Assist as well.
The text, yeah, we did the story of Ray Bibber. We did a spotlight on it.
Yeah,
I do not own the game.
I remember the music being really good, so I bought the soundtrack as well.
If you watched our spotlight video of it, I think it's actually one of the most popular videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's one of our videos with the most views. I voice act all of the characters for no reason.
Yeah.
But if you've ever wanted to play a typing bullet hell game, check out the Text Assist.
This is the one.
It's really cool. That's another cool little indie game.
It's really cool. It's a really cool idea behind it as well.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of games, like before I would buy like a bunch of AAA games, but this sale, all I got was indie games and DLC for games I already own. That's pretty much what I bought. I don't know if you bought any AAA games.
The same. The AAA games I really wanted to play, like I'm still waiting for like Cyberpunk to come out.
The only ones I could think of were I wanted to play Borderlands 3. That was one I wanted to play.
Yeah, I'm kind of like it's on my list, but it's not like high up there.
Let me have a look. I wanted to play Terraria because I knew the sale was coming up, and they just did the Journey's End final patch for the game, and I was like, right, let's play Terraria together, guys. And then Andy bought everyone Satisfaction. He's like, I guess we're not playing Terraria anymore.
To be fair, I wanted to play Anno 1800. Then Solaris went on sale with its 4-year anniversary, and all I played was that instead.
Never heard of that game. I don't know what Solaris is.
Stellaris, weird game.
I think Halo Andy bought all the DLC for Stellaris this sale.
Yeah, he's actually done that now.
Yeah, he bought all the DLC.
I see. That's the clever ruse for me. So I'm actually employed by Paradox. I bought him the game, said I'd play it with him, then didn't go on for a week, so he couldn't play it.
Speaking of the Steam summer sale,
yeah,
I'd been looking at getting Conan Exiles Forever on the Steam sale.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh, don't buy Conan Exiles on Steam. It's going free on Epic.
Yeah.
The day it comes out, they pulled it at the last second. Yeah. So it seems like Conan Exiles for free on Epic has been pulled permanently. But it seems that they are going to re-add it to sell the game.
Yeah. It's a shame because actually, I played it, but I feel like I didn't really play it enough. But I feel like I need to play it with someone else. Like I wanted to see if we could kill some scorpions and weird other.
I did the tangerine on it, and I thought the game was pretty fun.
Yeah, I remember.
Little survival.
I remember you being very confused at the start.
Yeah, the start was pretty confusing.
Yeah, I had to watch a tutorial to actually play it. So.
Oh, okay. But the Escapist 2 is back now after being gone for like a couple of weeks.
It's back, yeah.
And Killing Floor 2 as well. A game I own on Steam, but have not really played that much. I don't know. I don't really like the lot of stuff they did with Killing Floor 2 compared to the first one. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think either of the games were ready for me, so I don't really know. Oh my god. What? Sorry, I just remember. I bought Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Another game. See, when I saw your activity on Steam of all the games you bought, I feel like I contributed to you buying a lot of these games, like in terms of me or us playing them, or me like playing them and recommending them to you, sort of thing. Do you think that's fair?
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was saying.
I something.
Okay, I was saying when I looked at your activity of you buying these games, I felt like a lot. I contributed like us playing them on Spotlight or me playing them and recommending them to you kind of influenced you a lot when you bought some of these games.
Time ran out when like gameplay I'd actually seen before. So yeah, I think that's pretty fair assessment. Yeah.
Turns out you can purchase games based on the strength of their demo. It's a very foreign concept, but
that's been a lot of my purchases this year actually. Like most of them have demos that I'd played or seen someone else play. So
okay, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about with the Steam. But we should talk about the summer sale itself. You can now get animated avatars, frames, backgrounds, badges, and chat items that are free to keep forever. The point store for the Steam sale is now permanent. So whenever you purchase a game on Steam, you'll get points. I don't know how you've... hang on. I gotta pick up my random sticker for today. Let's make sure to get that
I was just thinking that as well.
Okay. I think these sticker things are fucking useless. So the point store is here to stay and it's open all year round. I think the most useful thing was like the frames and the backgrounds. The backgrounds for when you hover over people is kind of cool, but that's not as.
I like the animated backgrounds are really cool.
What did you think about the animated backgrounds for your actual Steam profile? Did you see those? Thought some of those.
I did see them, cool. But I can't remember my Magica one. It's too good. So
I got the mini profile. Mine's Woodle Tree Adventures, so I felt like I couldn't change it to an animated one.
Yeah.
I got the little Oceanside mini profile. But okay, this is pretty interesting. So, if you refund a game, and that would put you at a negative point balance, they take away your most expensive item that you recently purchased in the point store, and they take it back and give you back the points difference. Because I had the purple animated frame for the avatar frame. I had the neon frame, but because I refunded the coin game, I would have been at a negative point balance of like minus 500 or something like that. So they basically just took... I didn't have a choice of what they would take away. I would have preferred them to take away something else, like the background, and I would have preferred to keep the avatar frame. But I guess is probably the best way you can do the system. That's always going to be an interesting thing now. If the point shop does get quite popular, thinking about when you refund games, you'll lose the points sort of thing. I don't know how serious people are taking points. Some people have said that points are fucking useless, which I kind of agree with, but I do feel like the customization for your Steam profile is really cool.
Yeah,
seeing as how just adds more flair, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god! I was just looking at this the animated lava lamp. What the fuck? Someone should have told me about this one.
Is it a background?
Yeah, animated profile background.
Oh, what's it called?
Relaxing lamps.
Oh, right.
I was also looking at the jelly, which I quite like, but it's very like the little thumbnail looks better than the actual background because you can't see
some
it,
of them because you get a preview of what they look like. Some of them look really cool, and then you actually like look at the preview image, and it's like
see how it overlays. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I clicked on this one, you're like, oh,
like the chest one, for example, looks really cool, but I can't fucking see anything. What's the point of that?
Your profile's in the way. I don't like the chess one that much, but
I really like the whole setting. Like, that's really cool to me. Like spiraling out and just.
He's wilding out. He's wilding out. The only so the point store is here to stay, and it's free to keep forever. The only thing is the golden profile. If you want to flex, I've seen loads of people in my Steam friends with the golden profile, and I gotta say, you don't look cool. You just look like a dick. I gotta come out and say it. The people flexing their Steam purchases just for 1 month, you get the golden shit.
Yeah.
No one cares. Honestly, no one.
That's so dumb. That should be permanent.
Yeah, I mean, if they made it permanent, maybe. But it's like the Halloween items in TF2 that you can get for free. It's like you can only wear these on Halloween or on a full moon.
So
and it's like no one. If you can't wear it all the time of the year, no one cares about it. Like it's
because I'm not like a Halloween main, so that always like fucks me over. It's like, no, I want to be able to use it all the time. What are you on?
But we have the return of chat effects, which I think is probably one of the most useless things in the point store.
Why is that ammo based? Like, why is it like a limited use? Like, what the?
So you don't abuse the animations in the chat. I reckon it lags the fuck out of Steam servers, and they're like, shit, we gotta give the ammo to these chat effects.
Surely the answer is limit how often you can use it, not a system where they can make more money from it.
I don't know. Okay, let's get on to quick news and then
yeah,
the show. Oh, do you remember that Crucible game I showed off and I was like, this looks like shit? The Amazon one. The Amazon MOBA game that looks like Battleborn. Apparently it's ditched 2 of its modes already, and it's delayed its first season indefinitely. So it seems like they're cutting back massively on the game and trying to fix some of the issues with the game. I think this game was dead in the water. I've said that, and I think it's probably gonna be dead soon enough. So interesting to check that one. Battlefield 5 final content update is out now. The summer final update, we got 1 new map, 1 previously squad conquest, TDM only map, expanded to 64 player. 9 new weapons, 6 new vehicles, 4 US planes, 1 US tank, 1 German tank, 5 new gadgets, 3 new grenades throwables. Panzerstorm and Twisted Steel will now be US versus German in all modes besides Grand Operations, with the same change being made to Al Sundan in the near future. Twisted Steel is the map with the bridge, I believe, and then I think... I don't quite remember which map Panzerstorm is. Battlefield 5 is one of those games that I find really fun until I don't. That's kind of the way I would describe Battlefield 5. I guess that's kind of hard to understand. But what I would say is, it's one of those games where if you get into a lobby with a good team, it's really fun because of how like squad-based and team-based the game is. But if you get into like a lobby with like people who have no idea what they're doing, that's when the game you're just going to get stomped and the game doesn't feel that fun. But overall, I think Battlefield 5 is a good, fun game in my opinion. You can now play Wii Bowling on the Switch. I don't know if you've seen this new Switch game called Clubhouse Games. It's one of those it's called 51 Worldwide Classics. So you can play like chess, you can play like Ludo, Mojang, not the Minecraft studio, the other one.
Mahjong. I believe it's pronounced. I can double check if you want. Do you want me to?
Four in a row. Mancala, slot cars, sliding puzzle, Texas Hold'em, toy boxing, dominoes, bitch.
Mahjong, apparently. More we know.
The thing I found the most interesting was we finally have Wii Bowling on the Switch, and that's one of the game modes. If I can find it. Here it is. I saw XQC streaming this, and he was challenging everyone to Wii Bowling and smashing them. So anyway, this is kind of an interesting news topic. Twitch has sold CurseForge to Overwolf. If you don't know, Twitch bought Curse years ago. Basically, Curse, they had like a modding system called CurseForge. They also made Curse Voice, which Twitch tried to make Twitch Voice, which was kind of trying to be a competitor to Discord and that sort of stuff, and that never really worked out because nobody wanted to use it. If you don't know about Overwolf, what they do is they make overlays for games. Like, I think they have like one for League. You can overlay, like, if you ever use the Discord overlay, it's kind of like that as well. You can just overload a bunch of useful information onto your games. I personally don't like Overwolf. I've never really liked the app or using it. So this is kind of disappointing to me, who's someone who quite regularly used the Twitch mod add-on for Minecraft especially.
It looks like they're using the old curse system though. Like it looks like someone had that. Like this is entirely judged by the tiny thumbnails they've got on the actual website. So it looks like they're going back to the old system, which hopefully they did it entirely, because I think their old system was actually better than the one that Twitch tried to put. Like it was terrible in comparison to the old curse one. So yeah, hopefully, I don't know. I feel like I understand that you're not liking Overwolf, but I'm hoping that they'd at least be good custodians of curse.
So there's some information about.
We'll see.
There's some information about CurseForge. It will transition out of Twitch client into a new dedicated app on Overwolf.
Yeah.
A CurseForge team of engineers inside Overwolf will be in charge of continuously improving the CurseForge app. They say CurseForge is not going away though. CurseForge will remain a standalone brand within the Overwolf family of apps. So if you go to curseforge.com, the website will stay exactly the same, and the mod manager will leave the Twitch client and become a dedicated CurseForge app for PC. The CurseForge.
So is there any point?
Sorry?
Twitch client anymore? Is there any point having the Twitch client anymore?
You need the Twitch client for Twitch Prime games.
Okay.
That's the only one I can think of. Okay. I don't know anyone who watches Twitch on the Twitch app.
Oh.
So
who would do that?
They've said the new CurseForge app will include ads, and it will be opt-out. So you'll have to go into your settings and opt out of having ads in CurseForge.
Interesting.
But they've said that 70 to 80% of the ad revenue will be going to creators and distributed based on mod usage. Whether that's true, who knows? It feels like modders get fucked over the most a lot in the gaming community. So
yeah, they tend to be.
Would you turn ads on your CurseForge app to support mod creators, Tony?
It depends how annoying it was.
How intrusive the mod
that's always been my stance on ads. I'm okay with ads as long as they're not intrusive and don't stop the time I can use it. But I am okay. I don't know, because I'm also okay with the 5 seconds or the 10 seconds before videos, as long as they're long enough. Like I don't like it's a 10-minute video. We're gonna have 3 ads in it. Like, no, fuck off. I'll get rid of that shit.
It's interesting that Twitch offloaded Curse after they purchased it, and I guess they couldn't really do anything with it other than add the mod launcher to the Twitch app.
Yeah, it's a really good system that they had going, but
I heard Facebook Gaming was buying defunct businesses recently, so maybe they could have sold it to Facebook Gaming. I don't know about that. I'll have to talk about that later.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Apparently, Overwolf also recently bought out some programs used by the Path of Exile community, like some program mods sort of thing to help with PoE, and everyone just quit using them when they went to Overwatch sort of thing. There's a big post on the Path of Exile Reddit about this. People have been complaining about the lack of transparency from the Overwolf app, saying they have a lot of shady practices, data mining, targeted advertising, basically stealing people's data, so that sort of stuff.
That's not good.
Yeah, collecting a lot of information that you normally wouldn't have collected. So it seems like, especially when they immediately said, yeah, you're going to have ads, a big reason for that acquisition was they knew people use Curse in the Twitch app for their mods, and they went, well, we can sell their data for targeted ads pretty easily. It's like a 2.
Yeah. In their privacy policy, it says they collect the information of what you're looking at, and then they can use that with their not investors, like their partners.
So
that's just part of their business model, apparently.
Okay. Halo 3 ODST is getting Firefight. If you don't know, Firefight is like a horde-based mode and in the original Master Chief Collection, it was never added to ODST, the firefight, but you can now play firefight on Halo 3. Halo also, the channel also posted some sort of teaser on Halo Wars, but I've never played the Halo RTS Halo Wars, so I can't tell you like anything about that. I don't know anything about the lore of Halo Wars, so yeah, if you like Halo Wars, maybe
I know a little bit about it.
That's a nice little teaser for you, I guess. I think it was a race that only existed in the Halo Wars fandom.
Oh.
So
yeah, I don't know enough about it to care about that much. But, yeah,
Crash Bandicoot 4 will not launch on PC, but Activision is evaluating additional platforms. We've seen before that basically Activision does this thing where they make stuff, sell it on console, and then they go, okay, a year later, let's put it on PC. That's kind of how they get more sales out of it. They've done this with the Insane Trilogy remaster. They've done this with Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
Rockstar does as well.
No, Rockstar just keeps releasing GTA 5 on every single platform.
No, but like Red Dead 2, it's like, I can't go to Redemption, but Red Dead 2 like came out like a year later on PC, right? Like almost exactly,
they did that with GTA as well. But they double dipped this time because they went exclusive to Rockstar and Epic, and then they went to Steam, sort of thing, with Red Dead Redemption 2 this time.
It's very weird.
Apparently, Crash Bandicoot 4 has listings of microtransactions, and Activision have said, no, there's no microtransactions in Crash Bandicoot 4, but that didn't stop them from adding post-update microtransactions to Crash Team Racing. What I guess is they're not starting with microtransactions, and they're going to add them in later to get around the box label of includes paid microtransactions. And by that point, all the copies are out, and then you do it in a post-game update, it now has microtransactions magically.
Aren't they doing like if you even plan to add microtransactions that you have to put it on the box now? Is that not implemented?
I don't think that's implemented yet, but that would be really useful to have. Like making a game legally have to, if they want to add microtransactions at some point, admit that it may have it at some point. That would be nice. David Cage fans rejoice. Detroit Become Human and other Quantic games have released on Steam without de novo. The Epic Store versions have de novo, but the Steam versions do not. I don't know what to say. It's a reverse version of the Batman Trilogy situation, where the Batman Trilogy on Steam has de novo, but the Batman Trilogy on Epic doesn't. It's just a confusing mess between two different stores, pretty much.
Just fuck de novo.
Yep.
So much.
I mean, people were reporting like huge performance and instability issues when Doom Eternal had de novo on launch. So, and it's been proven that pirates crack de novo within a couple of weeks anyway of a game coming out. So all you're doing is hurting your legitimate customers with de novo. That's kind of a pain in the ass.
I'm okay with like. I think we speculated this before on the podcast, but like we'd both be I'd at least be okay. Like if it was in the game for the first 2 weeks was like the most sales are, then they instantly remove it. But then we like speculated maybe like they can't do it.
They have like a year contract or something with.
Yeah, but I don't know. Surely like the contract would just be like you just have to give us money if you can remove it. You want, but
I don't know if you heard about this. Gearbox Software is suing 3D Realms over the embezzlement Duke Nukem franchise. Gearbox argument over music royalties. So if you don't know, when Gearbox bought the franchise from 3D Realms, they did so with the understanding they would own each part of it. But 3D Realms failed to inform them that the music would require them to pay additional royalty fees to the artists because they didn't fully own the rights, even though they came forward and made it look like they did. So what Gearbox is looking for here is to be able to pay the artists that they've had to give the royalties to, but to get the money from Gearbox to get the money from 3D Realms because they are arguing in this lawsuit that they didn't weren't fully transparent about the royalty fees of the music.
Yeah, that's kind of fair, to be honest.
Also, fuck Randy Pitchford.
Fuck Randy Pitchford, but this is kind of fair enough at this point.
Yeah, I just thought I'd get a quick one.
It was a mess. Yeah, I think you have to say that every time, but I think at this point he might be right.
Dungeons and Dragons Beyond has teamed up with League of Legends for a free campaign settings. You can now play the Bilgewater scenario. This might be the most ambitious crossover since the Rick and Morty crossover of Dungeons and Dragons. Do you agree with that? Yes, that's right. You can play D&D with Rick and Morty items.
Yeah, we discovered that recently.
If you don't know, me and Tony and a couple of other friends, we started playing a D&D campaign on D&D Beyond, which is a cool website to set up your character sheet. When you're selecting the items, you can unlock it. You can select additional content. I was just looking down the list and I was like, please, Matt, can we have Rick and Morty content turned on? I want to play with Rick and Morty content. But I guess this is how they make their money. They sell like the content through the store, sort of thing. It costs like $20, and then then they make all this content for you to play with, sort of thing. Because D&D has always been one of those games where you can do everything you want for free yourself with a pen and paper. But then
it takes a lot of time.
Certain programs, websites, they will help you make it easier. Yeah. Some paid, some free. So,
actually, I actually feel this a little bit actually because I was looking for Matt some programs for the map stuff, and I was like, there's quite a few paid map programs for D&D specifically. Yeah, it was really cool because they put a lot of effort into it.
I think there was maybe €60 is a bit much. They may still be. There was a humble bundle for map creation. Let me check their website to see if that. I sent the bundle to Matt. I don't know if you looked into it.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
The Maps Extravaganza bundle is still on at the moment. You have 3 days left to pick that up. Pull that up on screen.
Yeah, let's just go to. The Anno franchise.
So you have Token, Treasury Monsters, Battle Map Collection, Floor Plans Collection, the Tome of Ultimate Mapping, Perspectives 3, and Campaign Cartographer 3 plus 1 year license. So, or you can also get.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the licensed ones.
Source Maps Castles, Source Maps Temples, Tombs, and Catacombs, and Fantasy Floor Plans Symbols. There's also, if you pay the maximum, you can get a lifetime license to Campaign Cartographer, City Designer 3, and Dungeon Designer 3.
What is the maximum? How much do I have to pay for everything?
£25.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about these games, or these map creations. But they say that these specifically are for tabletop role-playing games developers who want to create fantasy maps. So,
yeah, there are some other ones that are available you can search online for as well, where you pay them directly through PayPal, DRM-free versions and things. I think these are DRM-free as well, but I think probably look into it.
Yeah. Quick news. The DLC for Superland came out. Probably my game of 2019, Superland. I've read some reviews and I didn't go too far into them because I heard there were some spoilers. I didn't want to get spoiled on puzzles, or if there was some story beats I was going to get spoiled on. From what I heard, the DLC is more than the game, which immediately I was like, what the hell? It costs more than the game. And then I've heard people saying that the amount of content you're getting isn't worth the money. So maybe, from what people are saying, wait for a sale to play this, because it seems like it's maybe too expensive at the moment for what it is. The developer is now working on the second DLC, so if you like this DLC and want to play more, there is another one coming. I will definitely be checking this out at some point, probably when it goes on a better sale where it's more value for your money sort of thing. But yeah, if I play that, I'll probably talk about it at some point because I love the original Superland.
Some people seem to really like it, but I guess some people have different ideas about what value things should be. So
Facebook to stop selling the Oculus Go, a headset I've actually used personally. They are vowing no longer to make 3 depth of field headsets. If you don't know, 3 depths of field is left, right, up, down. But then The 6 depth of field, which everyone agrees is the best way to experience VR, is you can go backwards, forwards, up, down, sort of thing. That's the 6 depth of field, where you can fully track the face in all 6 dimensions. I don't know how 6 DOF.
It'd be more 6. It'd be 6 degrees of
6 degrees of freedom. That's what it's. Yeah. That's
you can think of it as 6 dimensions, like mathematically, but it's not physical. That's what dimensions, like the 3 dimensions we're used to.
So it seems like Oculus is completely cutting off all of its 3 dimension. What was it again? 3 degrees of freedom headsets off, and will only be making 6.
You can use either. It's kind of interchangeable. Like it's fine.
But this is a really cool headset if you just wanted to watch like Netflix on a plane or something. That might be good.
How expensive was it before they removed or stopped producing?
It was really cheap. It was like £100, I think.
Oh, nice. Would you wear it on the plane though?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you ever tried to watch a movie on a plane.
Right, but have you tried to wear a headset in public?
I mean, you're going to be on a plane. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't.
It's one thing to like if you're a bus stop, don't wear a fucking headset because you're going to be in an environment where lots of people are going to be walking past you. When you're in an isolated place like a plane and you're going to be sitting next to people for a long time on a flight, obviously like people wear sleeping masks and have pillows and go to sleep on planes. So
I don't though. I don't.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's probably a place.
I was going to say, imagine like put this on right, and you're watching like a movie, and you're like, maybe I just squeeze in a little Beat Saber.
This is essentially this is essentially just a this is essentially like a cheap kind of phone strapped to your face. It was very much like an Android app store. You can play like this little Temple Run game that made me motion sick. You can watch Netflix. I did play this little shooting game, and it has this weird little motion controller that was actually pretty good for the technology. But yeah, it seems like at this point, probably the best intro headset to VR, I think, is probably the Quest, despite only being 72 Hz refresh rate. But I've spoken to an old friend who is a VR AR developer, and he said his favorite headset is the Oculus Quest. He loves pulling out parties and stuff, and that's the best way to show VR to people is the Oculus Quest. It's
very versatile and quite good value.
We got an announcement from Pokemon, as well as Pokemon Snap. Pokemon is making a fucking MOBA game. It's making a League of Legends clone with Pokemon on the mobile. And I was watching it, I was like, this looks like League of Legends on mobile with 10 FPS every time someone uses an ability. It's like, basically...
Oh, that's why you put 10 FPS in there. Okay.
Yeah. Nintendo's been trying to get into the mobile market for a really long time because they understand that it makes so much money, especially in the Asian market. The mobile market's massively... Like, they tried Mario Run, which apparently didn't sell well at all. I think it sold well initially, but most people wanted a free-to-play game. Then they made Mario Kart on the phone, but that was loaded with like pay-to-win microtransactions, and it got really negative press for Nintendo. And I think Nintendo actually said they were going to pull back slightly in the mobile market because they thought the business practices they needed to get their games to work on mobile were actually damaging their brand when they did stuff to make games very gacha games, very pay-to-win sort of thing, pay-to-play sort of things.
Yeah.
But it seems like this Pokemon game was so far in development they decided to release it. I mean, this is all speculations. I'm not speaking about, I don't have some source inside, fucking Pokemon.
Tomato sauce.
Or Nintendo, so...
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
I don't understand this. I don't get it.
Yeah. Do you think Pokemon's going to go deep into the mobile market now with this game? I think this will be the trial for Pokemon to see about the mobile market. Has Pokemon made a mobile game before? Do you know?
Like properly, not like
because they just went into the DS mostly, didn't they? Oh wait, they made Pokemon Smile. That's an AR game about brushing your teeth. They did that one, which I saw someone streaming, and that was pretty funny. Anyway, move on.
Oh my god! Okay.
What do you want to say something about this? Easy winning when Blastoise gets so fed. Jungle Difference decided this one. That's some League of Legends style shit posting.
I don't understand. Like, who likes Pokemon? And I guess there are people that like League of Legends and Pokemon, but I don't know. Not for me. I like Pokemons. I love me some Pokemon.
I think
I want like new gameplay.
Pokemon's not very, to my knowledge. Pokemon's not very popular in China. I think they're trying to get into the Chinese market by making a mobile MOBA, because that shit's really popular in China. I think
maybe
that's the idea. Oh, do you remember the Warcraft movie directed by Duncan Jones, the son of David Bowie? The CGI filled. Okay, I haven't
seen it yet.
Okay, I love the Warcraft movie. I thought it was great as a huge Warcraft fan.
Okay.
But the thing with the Warcraft movie, it was a commercial flop in the US, and then in the rest of the world, it did really well. I know it was super popular in China, because it made it made 47 million in the US, which is a flop, but then it made 439 million worldwide.
Didn't this have like a ridiculously huge budget to actually make it to begin with, right?
But basically, it seems like we're never. Apparently, the Warcraft movie was going to be a trilogy of 3 films. And Duncan Jones went onto Twitter to talk about what he would have done with the franchise if the films were ever going to be made. So it seems like from this point on, Blizzard doesn't. I guess Activision kind of cut off the Warcraft movie and were like, we've got to put more microtransactions in Call of Duty. We've got to make more money that way. We've got to we've got to remake games so terribly that the original game doesn't work anymore. Duncan Jones said there would have been 3 films. Part 2 would have been more Goital Thrall as a young orc slave in Blackmore's gladiator camp. Here he meets and befriends a Tauren who tells him of another land to the west where his people come from and where he might find more allies and maybe a new home. And then the 3rd film would be the gathering, the Horde army, and the freeing of the orcs around the Eastern Kingdom before a dangerous trip across the sea to Kalimdor and the founding of the first Azerothian city of Orgrimmar. Basically, the trilogy will be fulfilling the Dorotan's promise to give his people a new home. So yeah, I think that would have been good. I know people have very different opinions on the Warcraft movie. Some people loved it, some people hated it, some people were like, it was okay. I mean, yeah, I think definitely if they focused on the international market and kind of were like, okay, Warcraft's not going to do that well in the US, they definitely could have made more money on the film like they did with the first one.
They did that with a lot of films already, so like I feel like this is like a good one to do it to. And just ignore the US release of that.
But I remember seeing like a ton of advertising for this movie in like the UK and stuff. Like they were trying to push for the Western audience, but it seemed like they got more of the Eastern audience. So apparently, Electronic Arts is planning to double down on the Star Wars games. It's a weird turn of event from the the CEO of Disney calling out EA for the terrible state that Battlefront 2 was released in, to a point now where I'm saying Battlefront 2 is probably in the best state it's ever been in and is actually a really good game right now. I also think Respawn's done a fantastic job with Jedi The Fallen Order. The new... sorry?
Are they stopping developing new release or new content from Battlefront 2 now?
I don't know if they definitely just did a bunch of prequels content. I was playing when they did that, and then I think they were going on to do the new content. I think is what they were doing. The new Star Wars stuff. I think is what they were doing. Like they just did the BB. What's his name? BB9 or something droid.
BB-8.
The little ball droid thing. Yeah, I don't know
BB-8.
what it's called. Okay. But they were doing new content, sort of thing. The new Star Wars stuff. But they've said the Jedi the Fallen Order game is really cool. If Star Wars Squadrons is a success, this might actually be a really good turn for Star Wars games at EA. It seems they've learned some lessons. Especially with all the EA games coming to Steam, they've been doing a lot of cool stuff. EA recently, so
it seems that they've realized they can't just cram every single game with loot boxes. They have to make money by actually publishing games.
Yeah.
So I feel like
on the one hand, I'm like, oh yeah, they've turned around on like, they've turned around on Battlefield, Battlefront. They've turned around on the Star Wars games. They've turned around a bunch of cool stuff. And then I look at like FIFA and Madden and all the loot boxes and that, and I'm like, that's their real moneymaker. That's how they're funding all this stuff.
These games, yeah. Unfortunately,
EA Sports, it's in the game.
It's a shame publishers come in money by just publishing games.
So apparently, I
think they can.
So apparently, all of the Star Wars Squadron HUD is customizable, and
yes,
and advanced mechanics all optional. So you can have like a hardcore mode that will just turn it into like a straight up flight simulator if you want to.
I thought it was really cool. Like you could like shift the power from like where the shields were like to like the engines, and like you could like choose which side had the most shields and things. That's really cool.
It does look really like if they can actually. It seems like we haven't had like an immersive flight sim Star Wars game in a long time. It seems like lots of people are excited for this. I personally would have been more excited for like a flying sim similar to the original Battlefront 2, where you could fly into enemy bases, get out, play as a gunman, take over a base, blow up the engine, go out and fly. But it seems like that game mode's never coming back.
Yeah, imagine if that was the story instead of like the one we got in Battlefront. Imagine the story was like you basically on a ship.
Well, what I personally want from Star Wars probably never going to happen, because I also want a standalone Ewok Hunt game from Battlefront, the new Battlefront.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I fucking love Ewok Hunt. But yeah, that's probably never going to happen.
There's a lot of cool ideas you can do with Star Wars in games that you can't do on a screen or like in a comic strip or something. Like it'd be cool to see that.
The DirectX 12. We were talking about this last podcast. The DirectX 12 update for Windows came out, the 2004 update, not to be confused with Windows 2004, as I very much got confused. And I was like, why is everyone using the 2004 version of Windows? No, it's update 2004.
Yeah.
We just had the Edge update, which everybody wanted. Because when you turn on your computer after the Edge update, it now comes up with Microsoft Edge. Make Microsoft Edge your default browser. We've moved all over your bookmarks. Please use Microsoft Edge. I'm like, you're just using the Chromium engine. Why wouldn't I just use Chrome? What's the point of using Edge?
I will say, when I updated to Edge, it didn't change any of my defaults. Like try to push me to using Edge. Though it just said, "Oh, you got a new Edge." I'm like, okay, and disappeared. That's what I got.
But now Nvidia have released a driver on their side to go along with the DirectX 12, so you'll now be able to use that in conjunction with the what's it called? It's graphics card scheduling. It's some pretty interesting technology.
Yeah, the graphics card itself can decide when to do certain
hardware accelerated GPU scheduling, which you can turn on in your graphics settings on Windows 10, which should help with higher frame rates in even older titles as well, potentially, and should help with more consistent refresh rates as well, which is pretty cool. I like that the DirectX 12 bundle has the it's kind of bundling together stuff like ray tracing and variable refresh, stuff like that, and the mesh shader stuff as well is all being, so developers can now have this bundle of stuff and get it into games and stuff. Like I was amazed when I played Ghost Runner and I was playing a game demo that had ray tracing in it. It seems like there's a big push for ray tracing. I think I've got it down here. I know AMD is kicking themselves now because they're now focusing solely on ray tracing now, it seems like, because Nvidia got so ahead of them with the RTX cards.
They're like 2 years ahead, basically.
It seems like AMD is now pushing the ray tracing onto the consoles. So we may have consoles with ray tracing before we have desktop GPUs with ray tracing, which might be interesting to see. But it seems like after
actually had that.
But it seems like after our DNA's 2 launch, they're going to be focusing on ray tracing in their newer cards. So potentially Nvidia could actually be on their 3rd generation of ray tracing cards before Nvidia even comes to the PC market with a ray traced AMD card. So that will be interesting to see how far Nvidia can come in that time span and see if AMD can catch up, because that's one of the huge selling factors that Nvidia has on AMD. Is like AMD makes very good budget stuff, but they just don't have the ray tracing compared to the Nvidia GPUs. Like the Nvidia GPUs are just a lot better in a lot of ways still compared to the AMD stuff. So we'll have to wait until the next batch of that sort of stuff comes out.
And even if you like Nvidia stuff, like having AMD on there would like push competition and make the graphics cards cheaper as well, which would be
so I was reading
this. The moment graphics cards are ridiculous.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get more expensive. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
Someone was pointing it out. When people on Steam, you now can advertise a game as having cross-platform multiplayer when they mean cross-play between Steam and the Epic Games Store. So a game like Satisfactory has cross-platform multiplayer tag, but that is there because it has cross-platform play before Steam and Epic. I think this is really confusing to consumers because it doesn't actually refer to what platforms it has cross-platform play with.
What platforms it can be with?
Because that's not a tag. Because this brings me to my previous point that I've always said, what the fuck does partial controller support mean? Does anybody know what partial controller support means?
Nope.
Because you can say to me, partial controller support means that the controller works on some things in the game and not in others. But what does that mean for this game specifically? That doesn't tell me any information. Having a game that has controller support for it's a platformer, and I can use the controller in the game, but it doesn't work in the menu, is fine. But a game that has partial controller support and the controller only works in the menu and not in the main game, that's a difference in a sale to me.
Support.
Yes.
That's not controller support at all.
So, I mean, some people are saying it should be called some people are saying they should have a separate tag called cross-client play. So, for example, a game like Battlefield 5 would have cross-client on it, because then you would have Steam and Origin together. Epic and Steam would be cross-platform. Sorry?
Origin, Steam, and Epic are not platforms. They're just different clients on the same platform.
Yep. I mean, but would you categorize Mac and PC as different platforms? I would say so. But they're still kind of technically computers?
No, I wouldn't. They are running different operating systems. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't, but
yeah, sort out partial control support, and please think about maybe adding a new tag for cross-client tag on Steam. Anyway, Microsoft is renewing the Fable trademark with intent to use. I haven't seen any information about Peter, but I'm going to put my foot forward and say, Peter Molyneux, get him back on the Fable team. Get him working on a new... He can make Fable 4. He can make the not on Rails VR experience that everybody wanted.
I don't know what this short-lived card game. I want to know what they're talking about in this article from PC Gamer. Like, what Fable card game?
I have no fucking idea.
Hang on, I need to search this.
I have no idea what happened to Fable after Fable 3. So anything about Fable after Fable 3 is new information to me. So...
Fable Fortune.
Let me look it up. Did this come out, did it? Because I legit never heard of it.
No.
July 2017 release date. It was a free-to-play digital collectible card game set in the Fable universe. And I think they were selling it, and then it went free-to-play.
Only on Microsoft Store.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Never saw this advertised. Oh my god, there's good versus evil.
You can play co-op as well.
What?
There's no co-op card games either, so that's really interesting.
No. Oh.
Okay. I kind of want to play this now. Does it exist or did it shut down? Oh, as of 4th of March 2020, it can no longer be played. I guess it's another Fable game I'll never play. Like the weird on-rails Fable shooter game that came out on the Kinect. It's not on rails. It's not on rails.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
I'm interested to see what Microsoft is going to do with the Fable IP. PlayStation. Fable has announced the PlayStation Bug Bounty program. This is in collaboration with HackerOne. It's always interesting to see people come up with bounty programs because then people always find interesting bugs that get caught before they get exploited, which is nice. I remember back in the day there was a huge problem with the PlayStation Network that was getting exploited, and the PSN network was off for like weeks. And in response, I think PlayStation gave out a bunch of free games to say sorry. I think that's how I got like games like Infamous and Little Big Planet. I played them because they were free.
Give you money you could spend on the store, so you could decide what you get.
I got to pick from a list. I didn't get like.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's how it works, but you got something different.
Okay.
The House of Lords Gambling Committee have said video game loot boxes should be regulated under gambling laws. They call for immediate gambling regulation on loot boxes. What do you think of this?
I just think it's weird that it's suddenly like an immediate thing they want to do.
Well, I know tons of people have been complaining to the UK government about loot boxes. We've seen even recently people's daughters spending hundreds of pounds on Robux, as a Roblox man would have you say. I mean, I mean, there is predatory games like Roblox with their Robux microtransactions that kids just don't understand. And if they're using like their parents' iPad or whatever, and they have their credit card linked to the account, the kids don't understand what's happening. I can tell you from personal experience, as someone whose phone was linked to their parents' credit card, and I wanted to play Habbo Hotel, and I wanted to get a bunch of sofas, I, spent £80 of money on for new sofas for my hotel room, and without fully understanding the ramifications of what I was doing. This was way before microtransactions. You had to send an SMS message, and then the SMS message would take the money from the credit card. That was like one of the earliest microtransactions sort of thing. So
I say as well. Like loot boxes, I think go beyond just like protecting children, and it's like
from personal experience
as well
of being a child who was personally taken advantage of on Habbo Hotel. I guess that's a weird statement to say because of different ramifications of what was happening to kids on Habbo Hotel. That shit was Habbo Hotel. I'm gonna say Habbo Hotel was fucked. They had predatory monetization before it kind of was a big thing, and they had literal child predators on that fucking game. So fuck Habbo Hotel. But yeah, and fuck microtransactions.
Sounds shit. Yeah. And loot boxes.
Yep.
All of these are shit.
Ubisoft announced a Battle Royale game that they're doing through Twitch drops to try and desperately get people to play it. It looks pretty shit from what I've seen. It looks like a kind of fast-paced Battle Royale. It has movement, jump pads, and a lot of the buildings look like reused Assassin's Creed buildings. All I have to say about this game is it exists and it looks fast-paced, but I think this is another game that I'm going to say is going to be dead in the water in a couple of months. That's my call on this game. It just doesn't look that interesting. Some modders have made a TF2 Classic mod, trying to look back at the original TF2 from 2008, 2009. They want to scrape back all the hats and all of the new guns that were added to TF2, and you download this as a source mod and you can play on their servers. And they're now doing updates based on original content that was cut from the original TF2. I think I'm gonna play this and maybe give an update on what it's like.
What do you like? Is there an example of like what was cut and the re-adding back in, or?
They're doing dev blogs similar to the TF2 ones.
Okay.
Look, the Uber sprites. I don't know about that one. Let me have a look. I can get information. I'm just trying to read their dev blogs. I mean, I haven't fully looked into this yet, so I can't give you like all of the information about it because I haven't even played it yet. I just literally saw that they fully released it. I think yesterday or the day before. Seems like. Yeah. Oh, the nail gun. That's one I remember. The nail gun has been in the source files forever, and it never got used. And some people made like their own custom mods of the nail gun. It was like a scout weapon. Yeah. Instead of having the shotgun, you had like a very quick firing nail gun. That's a very infamous one that they were going to make, but they never fully worked on. The mine gun, the mine layer for the a demo man. That was another idea from Valve. They never fully executed on, I believe. No, that's a new idea. I think it's split up into stuff. This is old stock. And new stock is maybe stuff they came up with. I'm not sure how it works. I have to look more into it. But yeah, if you look at this and you go, I like the original TF2, I'd be interested to see how it played out if Valve made a bunch of these weapons that they were planning to make and how that would turn out. Definitely check out TF2 Classic. Speaking of Valve, Valve is set out a patent recently called the Trust Matchmaking Patent. The idea would be you would get matchmake with people who actually wanted to play the game, sort of thing. So you would get more trust points. For example, if you had a positive attitude toward the game, you didn't leave early, and this machine learning trust scoring can help segregate more than just cheaters. They found it actually works very well for finding cheating behavior patterns compared to an anti-cheat software. It can also find people who abandon games a lot. It can find people who are toxic players. It can find people who like to grief and ruin other people's games. And you can find smurfs, who are people who are a lot better at the game and purposely make another account so they can play with much worse players and have a much easier game. Yep.
Apparently, like one of the things that it may be able to collect is like the amount of games they've just played in general, not like specifically that game that it's looking at. Which I find quite interesting. Like it's like on your account, on your Steam account, I presume. Like it's not like what you've been playing in total, not just like say it was implemented in CS:GO. It's not just like looking at the total CS:GO plays.
Right now, it's on the CS:GO Reddit, the write-up about this. CS:GO itself does not use this system yet. I believe no Valve game uses this system at the moment, but they have the pattern out there, so they can use it sometime in the future. Hello, Shrimp. Ugh. He's been scratching at my door. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on now. Okay, so this is the big news for this week. Is that Mixer is shutting down. I was talking about Facebook gaming before. Out of nowhere, Mixer kind of shut. There was like a big graph for like the breakdown of percentages of live streaming services, and everyone saw a growth during the coronavirus because so many people were inside watching streams, and I think everyone saw like Twitch had a massive increase, YouTube live streams had a massive increase, even Facebook gaming had a nice increase, and I think Mixer had like a 0.1% growth increase. It was like, okay, Jesus Christ, sort of thing. They're just going nowhere. I think the only thing that kept Mixer going was that it was directly funded by one of the richest companies in the world, Microsoft.
Yeah,
so it had that backing, but I guess it probably got to a point where it was maybe hemorrhaging money and there was just no growth anymore. So they thought it was a good idea to sell.
If I remember correctly, back when they were getting Ninja, the discussion that was happening, I guess somewhat, this was reported on anyway, in Microsoft, was we decided at this time, do we stop Mixer, or we put more money into it? And I guess the more money didn't help, so now they're stopping it.
So they have sold to Facebook Gaming, so all Mixer partners now will have guaranteed partnership on Facebook Gaming if they want to move over.
If you want to do Facebook Gaming, yeah. I don't think I would.
It seems like Facebook Gaming really wanted to acquire the Shroud and Ninja exclusivity contracts that Mixer had bought them for. I think Ninja only streamed for about a year on Mixer before they shut down. So basically, Facebook offered to double what he was going to get paid to stream exclusively on Facebook. So Ninja was making $30 million. And Facebook Gaming was offering to double that to $60 million. And Shroud made $10 million for his exclusivity deal. And Facebook would, if they were doubling that, there would have been $20 million they're offering him. But they both decided to walk away to force Mixer to buy them out of their contracts. Because they probably had some sort of clause in their deal, if the website itself shut down, that they'd still get their guaranteed money, sort of thing, that they were entitled to. So basically, in order to sell Mixer to Facebook Gaming, they had to buy Ninja out of his $30 million contract, and they had to buy Shroud out of his $10 million contract. And someone did the math, and I think based on the amount of time that Ninja streamed, he was making somewhere around $90,000 a day based on the amount, which is insane. And that's without taking into account all the donations, and I think they're called Embers on Mixer. I've never used Mixer, and I've never wanted to use Mixer. The big blow for Mixer streamers is now Ice Poseidon has to find a new fucking website to stream on, because Ice Poseidon became a Mixer streamer for a long time. I think he's just gone back to YouTube live streaming, and I think he made a video recently asking Twitch to look at his ban appeal, trying to get unbanned for Twitch for 3 years. I think he was banned for bullshit reasons, kind of, but I could also see it from Twitch's perspective. I think his community was a huge brand risk because they were so toxic.
I find what he said. I found what he said in that video quite interesting. He's saying he found out a way to kind of make sure his community wasn't toxic. He'd sort of have some sort of direction, some sort of influence, I guess, on his audience and and his fans. How
the reason he started streaming on Mixer away from Facebook, away from YouTube, was because he wanted to move over his positive, supportive community, and he was just streaming gameplay instead of some of the more toxic IRL stuff he was doing on YouTube. So he was trying to cultivate a community that weren't constantly, DDoSing and swatting him and doing, horrible stuff like that.
I hope he can keep his good, his good audience.
So we'll have to see. I think some Mixer partners will move over to Facebook Gaming. I think of some of the last streams on Mixer, so the front page of Mixer was a bunch of Mixer streamers making Twitch accounts. It seems like a lot of Mixer streamers are just going to move over to Twitch and just bring their audiences with them. But to those who go to Facebook Gaming, I wish you luck, because it seems like have Facebook Gaming already has the big user base of Facebook, but I think most of the people on Facebook probably don't even know Facebook gaming exists, I would say. So
and I don't trust Facebook.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Anyway, Phil Spencer has said that yes, we absolutely want to give gamers choice of where to stream on Xbox, because before I think you could easily stream from your Xbox to Mixer, but now they want to give people the choice to stream from whatever streaming platform from their Xbox directly. So it seems like you might be able to stream to Twitch, D Live as a platform, YouTube Live, Facebook Game. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Is it not dead?
D Live is a live stream. I don't think anyone uses it though. It's insanely pop. It's like the most popular thing on there is PUBG Mobile for some reason.
I don't think PewDiePie's even on it anymore. So
did PewDiePie split up with D Live? I haven't been keeping up.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about PewDiePie is he was in the Floor Gang. Yes, I am down with the kids.
Not anymore.
He got a chair.
Yeah, it did bad for his back, and he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Xbox's Major Nelson has gone on to say, we certainly are not sharing any information stats with Facebook, and we have no plans to do that. And said that Facebook gaming will not be integrated into the Xbox UI, and Xbox will not share any of its information with Facebook. So it seems like that's kind of cool for data privacy and stuff like that. But then that's also kind of shit for Facebook that they're not getting directly integrated and advertised by Microsoft like Mixer was. But I guess Microsoft has no obligation to do that. I guess that wasn't part of their contract, so I mean, power to them. Before we end, we'll just talk about the Crysis Remaster. A bunch of footage from the Crysis Remaster came out, and people were saying it looked worse than the original Crysis from like 13 years ago. People were saying it looks less like Crysis and more like the original Far Cry, which is a pretty damning statement in my opinion, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So, in response to the mixed opinions from big Crysis fans and journalists and stuff like that, the Crysis Remastered launch and trailer premiere has been delayed by a few weeks because of this controversy.
Yeah. Did you? There's no like actual information, like, well, it's just like leaks, I guess. Or like,
there's a video out that's directly comparing them, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I can show leaked video on stream or YouTube without getting DMCA'd. So just to err on caution, because I received a copyright that blocked the video in every country because we watched the A Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines video last week. I'm just gonna err on the. If you want to watch the video, it's out there somewhere. But I have no idea where. I have a tweet actually, I think. I picked out a tweet from Botherer, if you don't know. It's John Walker, previously of Rock Paper Shotgun. I think he was the co-founder of Rock Paper Shotgun. I think he left the website now. But he works on he's working on his own website called buriedtreasure.org. So his tweet is, Buried Treasure is a brand new site dedicated to covering undiscovered indie gaming gems. It's here. It needs your support to do this, which you can do here. Patreon.com/buriedtreasure. Email us hello@buriedtreasure.org. Follow @GameTreasure. So he has his own blog where basically he plays indie games that basically nobody's heard of. And I want to shout this out because without John Walker and reading his article on Rock Paper Shotgun, I never would have found out about a game like Supraland. I think a huge amount of success from Supraland comes from John Walker's article calling it one of his games of 2019. So definitely check out Buried Treasure if you want to look at some cool looking indie games. So that's our game dev tweet of this week. We'll see if we can get another one for next week. But we'll go on to the end of the podcast. And everything in between podcasts, type in Peter Molyneux's name because I usually talk about him, and apparently Peter Molyneux's name is good for the searching algorithm to find our podcast. So that's good. If you want to watch this,
leave a comment if you think we should rebrand.
Leave us a comment if you think the new name of the podcast should be the Peter Molyneux Show.
Or the Tangerine Podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. Twitch.tv/Squad if you want to watch live, and at School 2000 if you want information of when we're going live and when we post VODs, if I remember, because I didn't tweet that we're going live today, so I'm very forgetful. But if you're interested in Twitter, check us out there. That's the end of the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.